Let's start with the project. So it is going to be a simple uh, color matching memory game, and it just has two scripts, but they are pretty long. So let's start. So first we are going to create our scene. Let's go into the project material. I started a script. So we are going to have a card script and card manager script. So only two scripts are needed. And maybe we'll just call it the game manager. It is reloading. And finally, the card game manager. And we need our scene. Lesson 3 project. Now, let's add our game manager. Game manager. And card is going to be attached to a prefab, but we'll create it later. So let's directly go inside the scripting part. So for the card, let's create the card first, as it is a smaller script. And for the card, let's add space. Lesson 3 slash project. And we need to detect click on the card. Did I change? No. So this is the card script, and our card is going to have a reference to the game manager. So CS field private and the value. Let's just make it public. So public and the value. Then we have the public material, front material, material. Then the private card game manager, manager. Then we are going to have the private role as flipped and as matched. And the card initialization, public void, initialize, card value, front, back, and the manager. Hmm. And we can cache the mesh renderer, so it is also going to have this private mesh renderer, get component. Okay. So at start it is going to be the back. If card renderer not equal to null, let's rename it to card renderer. And after that, on mouse down, if it is not flipped and not matched, and our game manager should not be equal to null, then we are going to flip the card and tell the game manager that we have clicked this card. And the game manager can do the flipping. Let's get the x and the y coordinate. So let's call it name parts, and we are going to split with the underscore. And if name parts dot length is greater than or equal to 3, then we'll get the x and the y coordinate, x 1 and 2, and we'll call the game manager, and we'll call it hard. For now, let's comment it out, and we'll create a method which is going to flip the card. It is going to be public. Public void flip, and we'll pass the bool. So do we need to flip it up or flip it down? And if we need to flip up and we are not flipped, then we'll set the material to be equal to front material. Card renderer dot material is going to be equal to front material, and its flipped is going to be true, and again is not flipped is going to be reverse. And we also need to check if it is not matched. Then only we can flip it back. That's it. And after we have flipped, we are also going to have the match public void set matched. And here we are just going to set the it's matched. And if we have matched, then transform dot local scale multiply slightly enlarged, and we'll reset the size after void size transform local scale equal to v3.1. Private v3 start scale, and it is initialized. And the transform of local scale is going to be equal to start scale. Invoke new of the set size after 0.5f. So that's it for the card. Next, we are going to set up our game manager. So again, this one is going to be a pretty long script. So let's start with keeping it in a proper namespace. Lesson 3 project. And new object card prefab, public material, card print materials, card back material, public end, grid size, public end, grid width, grid height, and public float, card spacing, private, PNG text, force text, private TMP text, demos text, private TMP text, text. I mean, underscore is not going to be necessary. Like public. Then we are going to have a private game object cards, private integer array of card values, then cards matched, and private pool, card flipped, first flipped index x, y, mouse count. First card x, first card y, second card x, second card y. First flip x, first flip y, private and flip x and y. And then we are going to have private and score equal to 0, private and mouse 0, private and total yes. And private and matched pair. And inside our start, we are going to set the total pairs. It's going to be width into height divided by 2. And initial game. And we need to spawn our cards and set its values and make them dark. So let's create our initialize game. We'll set our variables. So our cards going to be new game object and values. And after that, we are going to have card flip, card matched. Score is going to be equal to 0. Moves is going to be equal to 0. Matched pairs is going to be equal to 0. We are going to update the UI. And if win text is not equal to null, then we'll hide the win text. And let's create the card pool. Total pairs divided by 2 and 2 text equals to 0. And let's add it to the pool index plus plus. is equals to I. And after that, we are going to shuffle the array. What the hell just happened? Now we need to shuffle the array. So let's create a shuffle array. And we are going to pass the card pool. And let's create the method to shuffle the array. And it is automatically going to shuffle it for us. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. That was easy. Mm, update UI. Date. So after all this is done, matched pair is equal to 0. What is remaining? What is remaining? After we have flipped our cards, we need to spawn these cards. So create card grid, and we need to pass our card pool. Private void create card grid, and we are going to pass the card pool. Okay, so the card is spawned. X spacing, Y spacing, card name, everything was correctly. Card script. X and Y. X is equals to 0, Y is equals to 0. Grid height and grid width. Position. X plus spacing, V plus spacing. Point to card spacing. The position is wrong. Negative. Dot start X. Start Z. Now, what changes did it do? Instantiate card prefab, new vector 3, and quaternion dot identity. Start X plus X multiplied by spacing, and start Z plus Z multiplied by spacing. Instantiate card prefab. Card X comma Y. Card component, get component card value. Card pool of pool index. X plus plus. Index is equals to 0. Card values of XY. Cards of XY. Card component dot initialize. Card values less than Okay, I mean, that should be it for the initialization. And after initializing, we need to create the matching, the game manager.card when X and Y is clicked. And again, it is going to. Hmm. So let's create the method public void card click. If our card is matched or the card is flipped, then we are going to return. So we cannot touch a flip card. We'll get the card component, we'll set the flip to true, and if first flip, hmm, equal to -1, and first flip y, x and y, else if moves plus plus, update UI and check for match. Invoke check for match. Can flip is going to be equal to false, 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 false. Did I have a can flip? Bool, can flip, can flip. Didn't had a can. Card flip. Okay. So where is our card click? We are going to check if we cannot flip. Did we have a can flip? Think we didn't had a can flip. Boolean, Boolean, yeah. Private bool can flip is going to be equal to true. Where is the card clicked? So if I cannot flip, then we are going to return. Not can flip, or if the card is flipped, or if the card is matched, then we'll set the flip to true and we'll flip it. Flip card or flip, both are similar. Then we'll set the first card or second card, moves plus plus, update UI, invoke, check for match after 1F. Can flip is going to call generate method, use invoke, and checking for matching. If card values. How did I create all this? So if both the card values are same, then they are matched. We'll set the flip matched for the both of the position to be true, increase the score, increase the match pairs. If the match pairs are win text, okay. Else, blah 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 blah. Else again, it is going to similar. We are going to flip it to false. And here we are not going to flip it. And we'll set the card flip to false. So it is not flipped. Both of them are not flipped. Reset the first and the second flip steps in the Y position. And can flip the win game. So when we win the game, Let's create the win game, private void, win game. If wintex is not equal to null, then we'll set the wintex game objective. You win, final score in SMOS SR. Press R to restart. Restart game. Update if R. We can just destroy the cards and restart the game. Or where card in cards. Okay, so that should be it for the card game manager. We initialize the values, create the card grid, card flip, and the check for match win game. Next, we need to script the object. So where did the error come from? I don't know. Use tuple to swap values, make field read only, make field read only. We are going to make it public. So let's see what changes do we need to create our game. And this error, I don't know where does this error come from. Empty game object. Somewhere. Let's create a 2x2 card spacing 1.5, and let's add the UI. So first thing is going to be the score. We'll position it at the bottom left aligned, centered, width 256, and it at 32. Position is going to be 256 minus 128 plus. We'll duplicate the score, and this is going to be for our moves. At the start, we are going to update the UI, so it is not going to matter much. Negative 128. Let's position at negative 32. And again, we'll position it at the center and make it at the center. And this is going to be our text. Let's get the game manager. Move, score, and the text. Next, we are going to need a couple of materials. So, where are the materials? Currently, we have six materials should be fine. Card back. Let's make it default. Maybe player. Let's just set it black, and it's in the front green, and we are going to have the blue, yellow, pink, and the ground, and also this player. So we have 6 elements. Next, we are going to need our card prefab. So let me check the project. Game manager. Let's create a 3D view, and we need to attach a card. So let's create an input card. Let's reset its transform, and we are going to attach a mesh filter. which is going to be a cube with a mesh renderer. And where are we spawning our? Mm-mm. Where are we spawning? Card manager. Initialize game. Create card grid. X and Z axis. So we'll need the camera to be 90-degree facing and 0 and increase the camera size. Maybe I think 5, 6. Let's add a default material. So black. And let's make the background white. Not completely white. I think black would be fine. And for the card back material, where is our card back? Enemy 4. Okay, it has the enemy. So our background needs to be some other color. What color should we use? Only option is going to be white. We'll need to change the color of our text and let's make it black. And card, let's change the size. X and Z is going to be 2 and Y is going to be 0.2, and we'll need to attach a box collider and we need to set it to trigger. It is detecting the on mouse down, and we are going to attach our card script here. So the front and the back material, we can make it hide and inspector. Uh, it's not going to matter that much. And we'll attach saver card as a prefab. Delete the card prefab, and inside our game manager, we'll add the card. So let's hit play and let's see what is going to break. Okay, something didn't work. Hmm. Object in index 0 is null. What is null? Hard front materials. No error here. Main camera. Let's hit play again and let's see what is the error. I think it is going to happen again. Object reference. Yeah, it's spawned all 4 of those cards. But we need to update the card spacing. Yeah, this error is editor error. There was not any problem there. So for the card spacing, we are going to need it to be at 3. Now let's hit play and there should be our card. Okay, we spawned both the cards. Moves to score 20 in 2 moves, press R to restart. And let's create 4 cross 2. So grid width is going to be 4 and grid height is going to be 2. I don't know where is this error coming from. Okay, so this purple and this purple, our score got increased. This blue and this blue. Okay, so everything is working correctly, and that's it for our memory game, and that was it for the project. And the previous issue, I don't know why was it happening. Maybe it was related to the mesh filter or some material for the card. It happens every time. Enemy 4, but it will get fixed when I restart my Unity editor. So let's go to the next chapter.